In this video, we'll be breaking down the top 5 mistakes beginner barbers make, including IRS scandals, what's the worst city to cut in, and what you don't need in your current clipper setup. If you find this episode valuable, make sure you post it on your Instagram story and tag me in as well too. Let's get into mistake number 1. Now, when I first started cutting hair, all I really focused on and wanted to become was a booked out barber. I did not want to deal with the slow days of 2 or 3 haircuts any longer. However, 6 months after I started cutting hair, I was finally booked out, living the dream, and then coasted for 2 fucking years. Literally nothing changed. No growth. My business got bland and redundant, and to be quite honest with you, I really didn't get into business just to stay stagnant, because to me, there's really no fun in doing the same redundant thing day after day. If I wanted to do that, I would have went and worked in a corporate job. My only resolution I came to from this was that I had to come up with a bigger goal, and that bigger goal was I had to come up with a date that I was going to retire, an end date on my career. Now, this did 2 things for me. 1, it gave me a clear understanding that one day I need to stop cutting hair, as well as I need to be able to get my business currently and myself in a position to eventually move on to my next business venture. 2nd, it actually gave me some goddamn urgency to actually get myself off my ass and apply myself, because I only gave myself 5 years. 3 years later, I retired from cutting hair. I was charging $150, and honestly, I did things I never thought were possible in my city in Sacramento, California. But to be honest, it was the most fun I've ever had cutting hair in those 3 years, because I was actually growing the business. And that comes back to mistake number 1. Most young barbers do not plan on retiring, and instead plan on cutting hair for a long fucking time. Now, when I say you need to figure out when you need to retire or leave barbering, what I don't mean is you need to figure out what that next thing is. In no way did I have an idea of what I was going to do next after I stopped cutting hair, but I gave myself something to light a fire under my ass so I can get the fuck out and actually have a vision of what direction I want to point my life in. Now, I understand that this might sound crazy as fuck when you start cutting hair or are brand new, but here's why it's so vital for you. First, barbering is not a long-term career whatsoever. It's a very good short-term cash flow business, but it's super taxing on your body, and eventually down the line, you will hit a limit of what you want to do in the industry. Second, no matter who you are, no matter what you want to do with your life, in some capacity, everybody wants continual growth. Even if you're making $20K per month, you always want to be thinking, well, how can I get to 40, 50, 80K a month? It's just like playing a video game like NCAA or NBA 2K. You set up a My Player, and yes, having a good player is fun, but why not continue improving your player to make it the best you can be? Because at the end of the day, nobody wants to stay at the same level in anything. Last, you can honestly get caught in like this lazy river of the industry, or like this hamster wheel style of running a business where you just wake up, cut hair, and go to sleep every single day. And that just becomes your life, and it's very bland and dull. And if you're not careful, 10 years can go by and you can realize, holy fuck, I did not make any progress in the last 10 years whatsoever. My biggest thing is like, look, have a plan and stick to it. Here's mistake number 2. Now, when I first got into the industry of cutting hair, I was super hungry. I honestly wanted to succeed so bad and make money and actually be successful in this industry, but I had no clue on how to run a business. I literally just dropped out of community college and went to barber school, and now all of a sudden I'm running my first business. So to get an idea of what direction to go in with my career, I simply looked around my city to look at what other barbers were doing and what they were charging. Because to me, I thought, okay, no one in my city is charging more than X amount. Let's just say like $40, right? And I'm like, okay, I have to stay under this price point in order to stay competitive, because otherwise I won't be able to get new clients. But this led me to a plateaued business because I didn't put any effort in scaling my business whatsoever. I literally thought that that was impossible. I didn't put any effort required to improve my product, meaning my skill set or business. And I really didn't even look for any education outside to help improve myself, because honestly, I just gave up. I'm like, oh, what's the point? Nobody else charges this here. And that led me down a lonely and honestly depressive path that I just didn't want to be in anymore. I was like, this barber thing kind of sucks. Why am I cutting hair with a cap limit on it and I can't grow any further? The resolution and understanding I finally came towards was that, you know what? It doesn't matter what people in my location or city are doing with their business, or like what I think I can charge in my city, but how I run my business. And that's when I just started focusing, well, what's wrong with the business model of what I'm currently doing? How can I improve this? When I focused on that, that's when I went ahead and got the growth from $16 all the way to $150. And that's mistake number 2 that most beginner barbers make, thinking that their city or their location matters for what they price themselves at. Now, look, am I going to be saying that you can go in the buttfuck middle of nowhere in Wyoming and charge $500 and have a fully built out clientele? Absolutely not. But you can definitely charge more, upwards of $100 plus in your current city, depending on how you run your business. Look at every single barber in your area currently right now. Literally everybody has the same clientele. And when I mean same clientele, the same clients who will pay around the same amount of money for a haircut. And because of that, everybody charges around the same amount, maybe like $10 to $15, maybe $20 difference, because they all run their business the exact same way. They all run their business on how they get new clients the same, how they scale their pricing, or even determining when to go up on prices or how to increase their prices. They all do it the same way. They all basically have the same service. They all serve damn near the same clientele. And honestly, they're all just mimicking each other. And why would you think if somebody is running the same business model to get the same new clients in the same type of business and offering the same product, why would that individual be charging more than everyone else? It's kind of crazy. It's kind of like this. If all of your friend group went to a bar to pick up some girls and everybody uses the same corny motherfucking pickup line and all of you fail, but every single one of you blames the location of the bar or the women in that bar. Let me tell you, buddy, it's not the fucking women. It's not the fucking bar at all whatsoever. It's you and your fucking lame ass friend's game, or like game that you think you have. If you just simply change that up, legit, you can pull anything. And I think it's the same way with business. That was such a weird metaphor, but hopefully you understand. Here's mistake number 3. So when I started cutting hair, I thought I could outsmart the system by not having to pay my taxes, by not putting any of my hard-earned money into the bank, and therefore I didn't have to pay any taxes because technically I didn't make any income. However, eventually it came to bite me in the ass, because a couple years down the road when I wanted to move out, get some big boy moves, and I wanted to move out of my parents' house, every single landlord turned me away because they said, dude, you don't have a fucking income at all. In fact, you haven't been making any money over the past 3 years. And I was like, dude, yes, I have a fucking great business. I'm a barber. Like, I make a lot of money. Like, I'm good, dude. Like, I have money coming in. But they couldn't trust it at all. Even though I gave them my word, they couldn't trust it at all because there was no proof. And rightfully so. They're trying to make sure they can have payments coming in every single month, and they want the best tenants so they don't got to go through the headache of evicting somebody and all that bullshit. And the simple resolution was just, I had to put my fucking money in the bank. And I like to think of it like this. Business is a pay-to-play game. And we pay to play the game of business and capitalism through taxes. And if you want a legit business and continue growing and scaling the business, it's something you can't avoid. Can you find loopholes? Can you find things to make your taxes go down and not have to pay that much? Abso-fucking-lutely. You have to hire the right people. I would not try to do this on your own. I would go to a specialist like a tax CPA or even somebody else who can help you do this, but you still have to pay the damn tax. Now, I made a post about this earlier, and literally everybody in the comments, I was so appalled by because they're like, oh man, you shouldn't pay taxes. I just hide my shit. And this is like the majority of the fucking industry. Barbers are legit telling other barbers, nah, man, fuck Uncle Sam. I'm going to take my money. If you're a young barber, do not listen to these fucking people because they have other plans of not building a legit business and moving forward in their life, but kind of just staying under the radar. How long are you going to be doing that for? It's like the fucking drug dealer. You're just going to keep on dealing drugs for the rest of your fucking life? Only work with cash? Why not try to see what your full potential is? Why not level yourself up and grow and progress in the world? Maybe even be a net positive instead of selling drugs, dude. Because the real money is not in the under the table money. The real money is in the legit money, what everybody can see. Now here's mistake number 4. I was so frustrated when I first came in the barber game because I'd see all these barbers on YouTube and Instagram cutting hair, and their clippers looked like they were touched by the hand of God. All the hair was melting off perfectly buttery smooth. Their haircuts were coming out flawless, and it was like right before my eyes as I was watching the video, this hair was being melted off into the perfect fade. That line was being put in perfectly. And honestly, I was just frustrated because I'm looking at this shit like none of my clippers do that. Where the hell did you buy these clippers at? My shit's kind of fucked. And I honestly thought that, well, I must have bought the clippers from the wrong store. They must have bought them from the correct stores, or I got a defaulty clippers and I got to go buy new ones because my shit does not hit like that. So what I would even do is like, I would buy the exact same clippers they did. Yet they wouldn't cut at all at the level of the people I was seeing on Instagram and YouTube. And I was like, what the fuck? Do I just suck at this? And the answer is yes, I did suck at it. It wasn't the clippers problem. Could I have modified it? Maybe, but it was all of me. It was all my problem and my skill set issue. And that's mistake number 4. Thinking that trying to buy the newest and latest clipper is going to improve your haircuts or make you more money. Now, in my personal opinion, all you have to do is make sure your clippers are nice and clean, up to date, and really just change the blades every single month, and you're good, as long as you upkeep them and keep them oiled. Now, in terms of improving your haircuts, yes, you can watch YouTube tutorials, but I have a better way for you. You're simply going to take a picture of your end haircut. That's step number one. Second, you're going to get a picture of somebody else's haircut that they've done. Let's say like a Vic Blends or a Julius Caesar or whoever you think does that same exact haircut the best. You're going to try and get it from the same angle, same overall haircut and structure. That way, because you're going to put them side by side and look at them and reflect. Now, when you put these two pictures, your picture and maybe whoever else's who you think cuts like God, right next to each other, side by side, you're going to go ahead and spot the most obvious difference. Now, there's going to be a shit ton here, but we're only looking for the most obvious difference. From there, you're going to start breaking down what your process is of how you cut hair in that one difference or in that one trouble area, and try to figure out what is the breakdown. What can you do to fix this to get the outcome that you want? And legit, it just takes some time of sitting down and thinking and reflecting. It's not like rocket science whatsoever. Just sit and think, what would be the outcome to get a cleaner fade? What would be the outcome to get a sharper line? And no, do not go to my clippers are broken. It's not that. Now, in terms of how to make more money, again, too, you don't need to buy the newest clippers because clients don't give a fuck what the clippers are, honestly. The only thing that actually helps you improve what you're doing in terms of income-wise as a barber is to convert on brand new clients and scale your prices. Legit, that's it. This is not buy new blades, buy the newest clipper, slap on this mod, whatever. None of that shit matters. Convert on new clients, scale your prices. Here's mistake number 5. Now, going back to mistake number 1, when I finally got booked out, I was like really busy day after day, kind of like that constant hamster wheel grind. You wake up, cut hair, go to sleep, fully booked out schedule. You feel like you finally built something, right? Now, from here, I thought I was going to be making a fuck ton of money. However, every time I would open my bank account and look at it, there was never like a substantial increase of the number in the bank account. So I decided, I was like, fuck it. I got to keep on working even harder now because obviously I'm not working hard enough if that number's not improving. What I didn't know is I was literally spending every dollar I was making every single day on bullshit. And this was because I was never tracking my incomes and outflows of money. I was almost just blind to it and working just to work and, buying bullshit. Because to me, fuck it, I'm going to make money the next day. Who cares if I blow a couple $100 right now on some clothes? Who cares if I buy some food right now? I'm going to make it back tomorrow. In fact, most barbers, including myself at one point in time, were scared as fuck just to open up the bank account and see what it looked like. Now, in order to run a business, you have to know your numbers. Amazon, Apple, literally any big corporation or business knows their numbers and hyper focuses on this. And this is legit like the lifeblood of the business. And this is a simple process. All you have to do is go to Google Sheets. Literally type in your computer, Google Sheets. Open up a simple tracking sheet. Make one sheet inflow, make one sheet outflow, make one sheet totals. Every single morning, open your bank account and this tracking sheet. Now, what you're going to do over the last 24 hours or however long it's been since the last time you've tracked, you're just going to check over what was deposited, what was withdrew. You're also going to make sure that you understand what those withdrawals came from, meaning like what was the date, what was the transaction, where did it come from, how much exactly, and write that down. Very simple. Same thing with inflows, but most of your inflow cash is going to be from the cash that you made. But still, it's pretty important to understand when that hit the bank account. Now, at the end of every single month, you just want to add what the last 30 days were of inflow and what the last 30 days of outflow were in terms of cash into that account. Subtract the inflow from the outflow, and you get what your overall profits were. Now, if you don't like that number or that number's in the single digits, hopefully not. Hopefully it's in the 4-digit number, maybe more 5-digit number. You want to start assessing, what's fucked up in my spending? Because if you're making over 2-3K a month, you should be saving a good maybe 50% of that. And all you have to do every single day is look over where did I make stupid decisions at and where can I cut this out? And the beautiful thing is when you're tracking this every single day, you'll stay on top of yourself and on your decisions every single day throughout the entire day of do I really need that? I need to cut down my spending. And it's always top of mind, top awareness. Again, whatever gets measured gets managed. And when you start measuring your income outcome of your cash, you're going to be able to manage it. Whenever you get your spending all dialed in, then you want to be able to focus on increasing your income as well too and scaling that up. Again, too, if you ever want to go ahead and work with us because we help barbers scale to 20K a month, you can obviously go ahead and apply to work with us through the link down below. And I'll see you guys in the next video.